things happened. I got out of there as fast as I could, and I never ate a piece of chicken because I knew all of it, and nobody cleaned them. So they come from a box that's marked expired, not good for human use. The French fries were from Wendy's, but their expiration date was a year ago. Everything we were fed in the kitchen was either marked not for human consumption or expired so long ago that it was scary. Okay, I spent both my first and my second time in prison doing what I do. I'm a writer. I wanted people's stories. I got close with women working in the law library who were my age. There were about 5 or 6 women who'd go as early in the morning as they can, stay till the last minute, and they were working on their papers and papers for all the women that were inside. So if President Obama said crack cocaine, it gets the equivalent time now of cocaine. 400 women needed to write motions. None of them knew how to do it. So we, 5 women, would write all the motions for everybody. And we were like a well-oiled machine. You can't afford to buy the number of, it takes $60 to set up a machine. So women were dropping off cartridges and copies, and we were helping each other. It was like an underground movement to help each other. And to this day, the people that help me the most are LGBT people and formerly incarcerated people. I was walking around, they knew they called me an agitator and warned me not to incite a riot, and they would watch me speaking to other women. So the way I would get women's stories was to walk around the track. And somebody would join me, would tell me her story, then I'd walk out of the track, write the story down, go back on the track, get a next story, and I kept walking around the track till I got all their stories. We had there's no medical care and there's no dental care. I asked for, in 2010, I asked for a dental cleaning, and you have to write the request and they have to respond, and the note on the bottom said, you are now officially on the waiting list, we're still doing 2007. Other women, if they had a problem, got their teeth pulled. That's the only thing they do in prison. So medical, if you're sick, you're gonna die. And I saw 12 women die during the course of 1 year. It's one of the most underreported stories there is. We had a physician's assistant who, when I went to see him, he said, you're fat, you need to walk on the track, and you need to drink water. Apparently, he said this to all 1,100 women. Miriam Hernandez came to see him, and she said, something is very seriously wrong with me, I feel like I'm gonna die. And he said, you're fat, walk on the track, drink some water. 2 weeks later, she dropped dead because her gallbladder burst. Now, I had been sending my stories, sending my stories snail mail so that I wouldn't be caught, and then people would post them on my website, and I would tell the stories of different women. This time, I was so upset by her death, and a friend of mine whose breast cancer went untreated, even though it was diagnosed in 2012, in 2014, they gave her a death sentence when they opened her up, that I wrote a piece, and instead of sending it snail mail, I sent it through the email, and they read every email. An hour later, an hour after my email was posted, I was arrested and thrown into solitary confinement. Solitary confinement is a prison within a prison. Just think about it. When you're tried and there are lawyers and you have to go to jail, it's one thing. But when you're in prison, you face so many difficult situations. 4 people run solitary confinement at every prison, and they decide what to do with you. So the captain came and said, you wrote against an officer, you're going to be held here till you have to go home. There is no due process. there is, they do the right paperwork, they give us the right paperwork, but the paperwork is a lie. For example, a medical doctor is supposed to see you every day. The medical doctor does see you every day. He walks in at 6:30, he walks around, and he marks off the box that he's seen you. Your unit manager is supposed to see you every day. He walks around, sees the women on this side, and check marks he sees you. Psychologist is supposed to see you every day. So I was suffering solitary. They give you a t-shirt, shorts, and overalls, and one blanket. And I was freezing. And when you hear women from other prisons say the same thing, you know it's true.